Good morning and thank you for having me. I was just looking at generative AI like everybody talks about. So I said I will also put a little bit of it flavor. After all, young students are listening. Then one of my colleagues who is escorting me, I was just talking to her and listening that if everything is in ChatGPT and Gemini and Lumini and etc., then who are we to stand here and speak? If everything is available in the net, what are we doing here? That is when I said this is right thing to do. Leave your mobile, leave your pad away and just talk based on your experience. And that is what I am going to do, maybe 2-3 messages from my personal experience. Though people call me, I come from academic background, I don't. I just did PhD and that is why I carried that tag with me of being a researcher. But believe me, for the last 35 years when I was in corporate India, that is TCS, there was no research of that kind which academics popularly talk about. But what I learned was experiences with people, and that is where study of human behavior, which is the way I describe psychology, came in handy. I can never forget the first conversation that I had with the deputy chairman at that time, 35 years ago, when I asked him, imagine he asking me, I asked him that what can a psychologist do in human resources? Because my focus in my mind was resources. His focus was on human. And that is why today what his vision was has brought me here, that I am now in a position to share with you my experiences, and trust me, very humbly and genuinely I'm telling you, I'm here only because I have lived in this universe much longer, for longer period of time than all of you have, and I foresee that many of you will be standing here 25 years later, much earlier than I could earn this spot. So HR, yes, but with a different twist, human relations, like Alejandro said. And the number one, I love it, because when I was in primary, secondary school, I always wanted to stand first. And that was always the aspiration and goal I had. Sometimes I got it, sometimes I could not make it, and that is where the growth mindset came in. I thought growth mindset, I didn't name it like this back then, and for those who probably, maybe you all don't know, but I haven't lived in Bombay all my life. My first 25 years were in Amritsar. I stopped calling it a small town, because the moment I used to say small town, everybody in the audience used to say it's no longer a small town. I said, okay, it's a non-commercial, non-corporate town I come from. But having lived 40 plus years in Bombay, Amritsar can become a remote memory, but for what it set me for future. One of the things I remember in my education, I learned in psychology, nurture and nature, nature and nurture. And popularly, very approximately, nature 50%, nurture 50%, which means you are born with something, but that doesn't mean you can change a bit of it 50% by nurturing. And that nurturing which your family provides, your city or ecosystem provides, that is what sets you up for growth mindset. So for me, growing in years, growing in height, moving on from one class to another, achieving 77% to 90%, that was growth. So I said, okay, today it is called growth mindset, so be it. So that means I was always full of growth mindset. Okay, sounded a little funny, but I said that's fine. So this inbuilt nature that I had, what more I can do? Is there something I'm missing out? That's the foundation was laid when I was growing up, but it has fortunately continued to the adulthood, and now whatever hood I want to name myself, because I'm on the other side of the corporate, you are on that side of the corporate, 3 generations apart. But what excitement that the innovation that is happening in technology, which brings in today time, makes me feel younger and younger. And when one of the boys tell me it is so easy to talk to you, I am validated that what growth mindset is a very formal word, but I define it as that you want to do things differently. You want to do more than you ever did or you did yesterday. I have to define growth mindset, so I just looked it up, and in my mindset, I found many people who are in my ecosystem who have a fixed mindset. I'm sure all of you have met a lot of people or live with people who have a fixed mindset. Would you like to try prawns? No, 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 no. They are very crawly. Would you like to try, you would like to try this exercise? No, 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 my bones are very stiff. You know, so this very daily examples fit in very well with people who are either flexible in their thought, always wanting to try new things, than those people who are very fixed attitude and they say this is what it is. So one of my family member, whenever, whether it's about investment, whether it is about trying to go to new places or trying to eat something new, he will always say, oh, no, 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 I tried this and it didn't work. So he won't try it again. Just flip the coin and think growth possibility. And that is how growth mindset I define. When challenges come in front of you, when you have to take a risk, that is where the growth mindset engulfs you or engulfs me. I have seen after I stepped out of TCS 15 months ago, I realized it is so easy to just be, which is akin to having a fixed mindset. Or you can keep looking and diversifying your vision, that I can do singing, I can learn swimming, I can read, I can write, I can consult, I can do many things which I have never done. And I want to tell you few examples. More than 5 years ago, not even 5, 10 years ago, I went and doing things differently or doing more things set me to say I will sing. So I went to some teacher, a very classical singing teacher, and he started teaching me and I started failing miserably, and he didn't have the guts because he was getting paid to tell me that you don't have any music in you. He didn't tell me, but I overheard him telling my friend that she would never be able to sing. And I gave in to the failure. And that I'm talking about 10, 12 years ago. I gave in to the failure and I decided to myself that I will never be able to sing. And this is my personal experience, and I did not try engulf myself in my work, very straight focused person, what I have to do at work. But I also want to share with you that I have learned a lot from failures, and that is where I am now changing my approach to the situation. And how did I learn from failures? Because I realized that failure is the first step to success. Without failure, I will not be able to know what doesn't work. And what doesn't work will tell me what will work. Another, on a light note, after I completed my PhD, I'm talking about 1980, 81. And the only thing a PhD student after completing PhD could do was to teach. And I did not know to teach, or I did not want to teach. That is a material, but I did not want to teach. So iterative worked very well. That this is I don't want to do. And then the doors opened. And that door happened to be, in my case, TCS and corporate India and corporate world and all that. But coming back to the failure, when you are in a corporate set, and especially when you are living your life in HR, like a couple of my peers who will be speaking to you will share a lot of other examples. There are a lot of grievances, disagreements, conversations, complaints, and whenever a complaint, mail or disagreement or harassment message will come, either you make a face or you smile. And don't be surprised, I used to be very happy and smiling when some complaint comes, because that became a source for innovation and creating new initiatives. Because that told me that in some corner, in some place, for somebody, this process, this policy does not work. And what more I can do? What more I can do? So, developing a growth mindset, some of the things which I have spoken, I'll talk about that. Failure, don't shy away from failure. In fact, you have, of course, global examples are there of how many times Thomas Edison failed, how many times that spider fell, all those very well-known examples. Up close in India, you have Mary Kom, you have got Shah Rukh Khan, you've got Virat Kohli, all of them are super successful now, but that's not how they started. And those examples inspire a lot of people. In my case, I did not have any hope of setting foot in Mumbai, a city like Mumbai. I did not know many things. In fact, not knowing the difference between hardware and software back then in 1980, 81 or 88, when I completed my PhD, was today shocks me. But I didn't know. I asked my husband, what is software? What does TCS do? When I applied? Though, because my focus was on human behavior, human specialists, and that's the advertisement said, domain notwithstanding. So challenge your assumptions is the one way. Face bravely the failure. And third, embrace risk. And fourth, which I love it very much, is celebrate the effort that you have put in. So there are some paradoxes that we encountered, at least I encounter in my thinking. And one of the paradox that is that as an HR person who's responsible for compensation and benefit, immigration policies, tax policies, employment policies, incentive models, you look at outcome, not effort. All of you are going to be corporate people, are or will be or were. So you understand what I'm saying. So you incentivize outcomes, not necessarily the effort. Everybody will disagree. They will come when they get a rank or a bonus and they should tell me, but how much I put an effort. But companies do not survive by putting an effort. What is the paradox I'm talking about? I'm talking about that growth mindset is that if as an employee, I created a tool and it did not work, but I put in hard work, genuine hard work, and that only I will know. I must celebrate. And here I will bring the fifth point, self-talk. Any one of you who read my Thursday posts, which I write in Thursday Rituals and all, day before yesterday I wrote about this celebration, that I put in effort. I talk about self-talk. The day has been bad, day has been very exciting. I embraced failure, I embraced success. I had a conversation with my boss which did not turn out to be right. I regretted saying what I was. All these things happen to all of you every day. But what is one thing very important to me and to all of you is and should be sleep. Sound sleep, peaceful sleep. And how do I do that? Self-talk. Few minutes of self-talk, fleshing out, breaking into pieces the conversations and asking why. And I did that all the time. And the why would always give you an answer. Oh, I had a bad conversation today. Tomorrow I will go and I'll do this. I could not present well today, but tomorrow I will do this and do better. So it does not give a finality to you that you are a failure or you have had a bad day and you will continue to have bad days. So these small steps helped me, and I'm sure that if you try, it has been helping you. For some of you, it's nothing new, it's common knowledge. But I'm sharing with you that self-talk is one of the tricks and tip of giving away fixed mindset and developing a growth mindset. I also want to remind you that be it any name, but aspirations ambition should be your goal ahead of you. Today, the advertising industry is doing phenomenally well for one reason for me. The ads are so innovative, and one of this very simple one that I'm having Bonvita, I'm not able to run across that mile, and the mom says that yesterday you were here, now you are here, and day after tomorrow. Perfect example of a growth mindset. And that is all there is to it. Whatever name you give does not matter. Name does not matter, but it's a feeling. What actually important is that you will be your best teacher. You will have a coach, mentor, parent, guide, friends, peers, bosses, senior people, celebrities, many people guiding you through their posts or one-on-one. But ultimately, whether you are a young person, whether you are my age or even adult, doesn't matter. Ultimately, what you will do, which is growing or static, is what your mind tells you. And trust me, as a human behavior scientist, which I like to call myself, this is the only thing which works. Today morning, I read something which again is creating a paradox in my mind. In all my life, at least last 20-25 years, I believe that culture of inclusion is because we have millions, billions of people in the world. Each human being brings unique capability, and that uniqueness is unique, and that will make us realize that self-talk, me, myself, has to decide where I want to go. But today's one research from a psychologist says uniqueness is not really being welcomed. I did not have time. I had to know why. And this is a huge learning for me, that I talk about uniqueness in relation to inclusion. That guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, everybody is different. So please embrace everybody. I can't see from one eye, I don't have one arm, somebody is dark, somebody is white, somebody is a woman, somebody is transgender, doesn't matter. Include and embrace everybody, and when you are assigning jobs or assigning promotions or assigning or calling them, inviting them over, don't look at their physical attributes. But this article, this research tells me that people are shying away from uniqueness because that they get excluded from majority. I actually was stunned for a second, but I wasn't stunned. I just realized that why didn't I think about this? Because I remember when I was I was deputed to America for one of the postings in my career. I had a choice. No, I didn't have a choice. Actually, everybody told me that which country you are going, just merge with that country. Wear what they wear, behave the way they do, convert, learn their things, culture, and then only you will be able to, embrace. I defied that logic, and I wore what I used to wear in India, and survived. I think I survived. And but this is where this example, what I read today morning, the research, fit very well. It was very difficult to be different in a world which was otherwise very homogeneous. So this is the play between heterogeneity and homogeneity. This is all diversity and inclusion thing somebody will be speaking about. But this uniqueness versus sameness is a very interesting topic. And why I'm sharing it with you in this today in the moment, that being curious, having a learning mindset actually is growth. Have you all met people some people after 5 years? Your friend who used to be with you in school and you lost touch because she went some city, you went some country, and after 5-6 years you meet each other and you say, oh, Ritu, you are the same. Or, oh, Gaurav, my God, how you have transformed. Who would you like to meet? Obviously the person who is transformed, because for me, Transformation is a very abused word, but the only reason I still handle that word is because it oozes of growth, oozes of change, oozes of mindset which is open and embraces. And you love such people because 50% they will be listening to you. 50% they will be speaking to you because they have something to say. And that, if that is not growth, if that is not opposite of static, then what it is? Thank you very much.